money.
Here's my opinion of really what an org's for. If you already have the revenue, if you already kind of have your own brand, I don't think you should join an org as like a normal creator does, right? Like a lot of creators that join orgs, I don't think their brand is set. I don't think their stuff's set, right? I think some people have their right. Those people, they join the org. I think then there's some creators, right, that already have a brand. Then I think at that point you don't join the org. You kind of combine powers, right? So it's kind of like a good example of this is Nick Mercs and FaZe, right? Nick Mercs didn't join FaZe as like FaZe Nick and he's under them. He joined FaZe and he's like in an even playing, like they're both equally contributing.
Well, he
right?
has
sort
equity.
of,
Right? He has equity of FaZe now,
but we don't know how much equity, and that is kind of bullshit. It's the same thing with Valkyrae. Technically, is a co-owner of 100 Thieves.
Yeah,
the amount of equity that Valkyrae has is probably negligible, but they gave her a little bit to call her a co-owner.
It's branding,
even though it's a branding thing.
Yeah.
She probably doesn't really have a ton of equity.
Well, wasn't Nick Mercs like back in he was supposed to have equity in 100
He got fucked over by Nate Shot. The whole story is
that was 5%, allegedly. So we could assume that Valkyrae and Purge have 5%, right?
Yes, we don't. I think it's lower than that, but it's possible.
Lower than 5?
I think it's
both
lower
of them
than
together 5.
I think
the problem is that like when you're handing out equity at that, and you have a cap table where there's like 10 investors, you can't give away that kind of equity because like it takes every single investor to make that decision.
Yeah, but they're gonna say yes. You don't think for, like to keep the
investors
biggest,
love equity.
female...
It's really hard to get them to give it up for any reason.
The biggest female, I mean, she was probably getting offers left and right. I'm assuming.
How many owners at FaZe
when you set up a company or you get what's called an options pool, right? So like you have a certain percentage of equity set aside to give to people, and like that's probably where Valkyrie's equity came from. It wouldn't have come from like getting all the investors to agree on that kind of thing is like fucking impossible. It's so hard.
Anyways, so back to what I was saying, Sap.
Yeah,
I think the point of joining an org at a certain size comes down to two things, right?